What's up, everybody? Welcome to Foul Play NA, a show match series put on by Rogues Gallery. We got a really exciting match today. We have Whip versus Razz. Before we get started, though, I want to do a little introduction. My name is Father. Today, observing the games is going to be our friend IRK Tim. And joining me on the cast, we have Just Too Juicy. Just, how you doing, my bye?
I am doing very well tonight. I'm very excited for this match. I think it's very promising. How are you doing today, Father?
Good. I'm excited to see some good Terran vs. Protoss, something of a rarity in the NA scene. But yeah, I think we're going to have an exciting matchup of styles today. The map pool today, we have Eclipse, Sylphid, Polypoid, Benzene, and Optimizer. Pretty standard for the most part. A couple ladder maps, a couple ASL maps thrown in there too.
Do you have any opinions on which way the maps lean, P or T?
Well, first of all, let's do a quick player introduction real quick before we get into that. First of all, we have the Terran player Whip, coming out of a strong Nation Wars representation. He's been playing for Canada A over there. He's done pretty well so far. The TVP results, not bad actually. 1-2 versus Oyaji, who's a really strong PvT player. So I think that's a really indicative score right there. And 1-0 versus Parfum and CRVT also. So pretty solid results so far coming out of him from Canada A's Nation Wars team.
Definitely, those are strong results, man. Oya is very good, and CRVT is also very good. I'm not too familiar with Perfume, but...
Yeah. He said in the pregame interview that he likes to play an aggressive, unorthodox style of TVP, so hopefully we're going to get some exciting plays out of him today. And we got the beautiful portraits here drawn by Stromkarlen. But next up, we got the Protoss player, the American hero. We have Razz, coming out of the USA A team and Nation Wars, going 4-1. Pretty incredible. And recently he played a PvT against Red Duck, went 0-1, but Duck is a really strong player, so by no means a bad defeat on his part. I had the pleasure of playing him on ladder a couple weeks ago, and he played a really strong, straight-up orthodox style of PvT and just bought me. So exciting to see how he's going to play this one today.
Nice.
Look at these portraits, man. These things are beautiful.
Yeah, dude. I can't believe Strong drew these portraits. They're fucking
quite talented,
looking really nice, yeah. You can just see the production value of Rogues Gallery skyrocketing, dude. When are we going to get our first big sponsorship?
I don't want to talk ourselves up too much, but I mean, it's pretty impeccable, I got to say.
Yeah, I know. So,
all right, let's get into it. I'm just waiting for the players. Map 1 is going to be Benzene.
From Benzene, what do you think about this map, Father?
That's pretty interesting. It reminds me of Match Point a little bit on the ladder maps, but you see it get played a lot in spawn matches these days. It's kind of coming back into style, being in a lot more big Korean tournaments. And I think it's pretty even. There's some cute things for Terran, like the high ground ledge behind the natural expansion where you can drop tanks and vultures and do harassment there. And it's also a 2-player map, so it's super easy to split compared to at least a 4-player map. So yeah, there's some definitely advantages for Terran and Protoss in this one.
Yeah, I think this one is really strong for Terran in the start, and then it gets weak for Terran as the game goes on, because the back of your base is just so wide and so open for recalls, and carriers can be really strong in the too.
All right, looks like we're about to get into things. Game 1 of Whip versus Razz coming up.
Okay, so spawning in the top right as sort of the gray, I guess, color, we have Razz.
And the bottom left, we have the light yellow Terran player, Whip.
I'm going to change the colors here to make it a little bit easier for us to see.
Make it easy on the casters. I appreciate it. So yeah, one thing to note about these spawns actually is that it's a little bit advantageous for Protoss, since the Vespian Geyser is closer to the entrance for the Terran player. It's easier for them to get their gas stolen.
Yeah, but what we can see here is Razz is already not going to be going for any kind of gas steal. His probe already had to have gone. So it looks like we're going to probably be getting standard opens here. Pylon in the opening base here for Razz. And how do you like to play this map as Terran, Father? Just macro up or?
Yeah, just a standard 3-base timing attack is usually what I go for here. I'm not too fond myself personally of going for split map scenarios, even though that's somewhat advantageous on 2-player maps. But yeah, I usually just go for my standard 3-base timing here. But as I said before, Whip said that he likes to play a little bit unorthodox in Terran vs Protoss, and I kind of take that to mean aggressive, so I'm wondering if we're going to see him do maybe some dropship play. You did mention that the base is really open on the sides, so it seems like a real possibility.
This is a pretty early scout for Whip, too. On a 2-player map, I'm surprised he's going Gateway Scout. It seems fast, but...
Yeah, we'll see what he does with that. Maybe just wants the peace of mind.
Yeah, just being safe here, I suppose.
And also kind of an early scout from Whip. 12 scout. Not super common from Terran, but looks like he's going to go check proxy locations, so that makes sense. Well, maybe not. Sorry. He might have been going out early for the proxy locations, but now he's going on 12. He's just going for it. Gunning right for the main base. And he sees the probe coming from that angle, so he probably knows by now. It's not going to be anything like that.
They're both just playing pretty standard, pretty safe here, so.
Yep.
Not really too much to talk about here, man.
Well, we could talk about the 550 APM coming out of our red Terran player. That's pretty nuts. Dude. Well, hopefully that translates into mid game.
Right there, man.
Yeah, that's pro gamer APM. That's what they say. It looks like I like this wall that Whip is going for here.
Is that even a real wall, though? I feel
like it's deep on the right. It's the Zealots can still get in the base, but
but you're just kind of defending, I guess.
Yeah, they have to pass right through the wall to get into the base, so they're going to be taking range shots the whole time.
The pylon is a little bit late by Razz too. Normally you're able to make your goon like perfectly on time.
Maybe he's yeah.
So little bit of a sloppy opener, but not that huge of a deal.
And we see Whip taking some minerals for his trouble, and Probe has to get out of dodge.
Razz didn't even steal any minerals, man, so he's way behind that.
Yeah. The differentials.
Yeah.
Alright. Also, Whip saw that there's no Zealot coming, so if he wants to, he can just make 3 Marines, no bunker. Take that expansion. First goon looks like it pops out, but the SCV snuck around and stayed in the room.
That is actually so clever.
So he can go for a rescout whenever he wants, or he can build a factory if he's a legend, but...
That would be the fucking ballsiest play I've ever seen if he builds a factory right now.
I would appreciate it. I think the fans would appreciate it, but probably just
he's dropped his CC here. He's at 400 minerals. So.
Oh, not in his main. Okay.
Yeah, he dropped it right at his natural, and I mean this SCV is actually pretty huge to just be able to get off a completely free scout here and know exactly what Toss is doing.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. So really nice for Whip. Just a little advantage there, but.
Yeah, we also see him going for Vulture first before add-on, which is something I personally like to do. If the Protoss plays a little aggressively with their Dragoons, just sends them right at your base. Sometimes you can sneak a Vulture in the main, but even if you can't, just having something on the map to keep Protoss honest and to get some scouting information done is really nice. And it looks like that went by mostly unscouted, so...
I think Razz must have seen that with his probe, so he should know it's out of the map.
Yeah, the vision crossed, but... And you see him pull back the goon to the ramp.
He's just taking a lot of free damage on his goon. Razz playing a little sloppy here at the opening. Is he actually going to lose the goon and it's still taking shots?
No.
Move your goon, dude! Oh my god! Oh, dude, that goon. Now he has to be so careful because the tank can just come out and one-shot it. And then
even a Vulture could kill it.
Yeah, even a Vulture could kill it if he brings that Vulture back home. So sloppy to begin with there, man.
One of the funny things about Brood War is, I think particularly shooting vertically as a Dragoon, trying to hit that max range against a bunker is really difficult. You really have to position it perfectly.
Yeah, you have to be so careful with Dragoons, dude. The range is so finicky in this game that if you're not, you just have to constantly be paying attention to your units. If you miss them, you know you're gonna have problems like that.
True that. And we see the Vulture sneaking up on the high ground, like I mentioned earlier. Gonna get a couple probe. Well, is that in range? No. He's gonna have to take down this reactor.
I think you can hit the corner if you go right up to the edge. I'm pretty sure I've seen Terrans do this before.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can hit that probe on the edge, but he hasn't brought it over yet. There is a goon there that can shoot it, but you have to remember there's that miss chance, so it won't be hitting it perfectly.
And we see a tank coming out first. I'm a little bit surprised. I figured he would go vultures, but going for the tank makes sense, especially since we damaged that goon. It's not a bad idea all to try and pop that.
He did try to jump on that tank. We saw it take a little bit of damage here, and the vulture did get 1 kill.
Yeah.
No, it's taking some free shots, and Razz is handling it pretty quickly here, just sending the goon around, so...
Now that we have 2 tanks out, we can definitely engage with these goons and drive them off. Having to repair that bunker actually does cost quite a bit of minerals.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
The repair cost and the cost of the opportunity cost of lost mining time.
I'm surprised Whip is just letting the goons hit that bunker over and over again. It's actually pretty expensive. Yeah.
Free value, as they say.
Looks like we are going to be having a Reaver come in here, so this is a really good map for a Reaver because you have such wide spaces between your main and your natural. You can typically find a spot to sneak the shuttle in.
Yeah, and it looks like on the opposite side we're getting a dropship from Whip, which is still a little surprising to me because we have 3 tanks right now. We haven't been making vultures at all, so perhaps we're going to see a tank drop on the high ground, and this might actually inadvertently work out for Whip if he decides to get a Wraith after the first
he needs to be so careful going up this, though.
Engaging up the high ground against that many goons is just a
nice
suicidal
target
move.
fire.
Yeah, really nice though.
Gets the goon. But
Once
he
the
needs,
Reaver gets to it.
yeah, if he goes up this ramp or if he tries to and the Reaver's there, that's like doom, you know? So he has to be really, really careful here. And it looks like Whip's
trying to go for a 2-shot on one of these tanks. Oh!
Razz coming in. The Reaver's right in that shuttle, baby.
Looks like he takes heavy damage on one of the tanks, but gets it out for now, and we're going to retreat behind this barracks wall. We see that SCV at the third. It looked like he was planning to use that map control to take that third base on site, which would have been really nice, but because of this goon Reaver attack, we've had to back off. I don't even know what's in this dropship, honestly. I don't know how many vultures he made. It can't be that many, but maybe it's just the one for... No. There has to be something in here. Just 2. Okay.
Yeah, not a lot at all, and Razz actually well prepared for this, so he's actually handling this really well. And meanwhile, it looks like he's harassing with the Reaver over in Whip space there. There is a Wraith out though, which will help stop it. Ooh, big shot there.
Nice. But Reaver and the shuttle are going down. Oh, nice targeting,
Reaver and shuttle both go down immediately, but it didn't look like Whip did too much damage with his drop either. Actually, a lot of probes not in the main.
It wasn't bad, actually. The SimCity wasn't there to stop vultures from just running around the goons, so they were able to get several probes for sure, but the damage looks pretty even for the most part. Losing the shuttle and Reaver was pretty big, though.
Yeah, but all the mining time lost by Whip, I think you are right, the damage was probably pretty even there. Both builds coming along nicely. Is there an armory yet for Whip? I don't see it.
Yeah, it looks like he's planning to try and end the game sooner rather than later. Otherwise, you'd expect to see that armory. And if we lose this dropship, that's actually pretty big. That gives a big peace of mind to Razz, knowing that he's not going to have to deal with potential drops for the rest of the game, unless we want to dedicate more money to making another dropship, which is a possibility.
The no armory feels like a mistake to me. I don't know why you would take a third base if you're going to go for a build that doesn't even get +1.
Yeah, I do see low upgrade builds pretty often going for like 3 base +1 max out timings, but if that was the case, we'd expect to see the armory by now, so I'm curious to see where he's going with this game. Maybe just trying to end the game sooner rather than later, but we would expect to see like a factory flood or something along those lines, but it looks like these vultures are going to get into the natural at least. Take out the goon and...
Yeah, and if they get off the ramp and get into the main, that's going to be more lost probes for Razz.
Yeah, it looks like a cycle of goons just finished up, or at least one just popped out, but still lots of mines getting laid.
This SimCity is like almost working against him because his goons take forever to get back in and kill off the vultures, man. He needs to close it up, dude.
Looks like we're trying to make moves with these tanks, but all the Dragoons are back at the base of Razz, so this might actually be the perfect timing. If we get tanks all the way across the map, pretty good scenario to be in.
This build is just so confusing to me because he takes the third base, and before it can even pay for itself, he tries to do a big timing push here. So,
and we don't even have many factories.
Yeah,
we only have 2 with a third building.
And we only have like 6 tanks too. It's not like this is some overwhelming tank count. I think maybe he thinks he did a lot of damage with the vultures, but I mean he's thrown away all these tanks here. Granted, Razz going across the bridge to take not the best fight he could have if you just waited a little bit longer for those tanks to get across the bridge. I feel like he cleans that up so easily, but still, this went really well for Razz and not very well for Whip.
Yeah, I'd say this is a pretty dominating position from Razz at this point. But tank drops on the high ground can be somewhat of an equalizer, but good probe pull.
Yeah, he noticed instantly. Didn't lose a single probe to that. But
this is
other
one, yeah, I feel like this is Whip's kind of last chance to get a lot of damage done because the army for Razz isn't quite built up yet, and it's a little bit scrambled across the map right now. So we see dropships and vultures everywhere at the same time, trying to get this damage done while we can. But like we've been talking about, no armory kind of means no late game, and if we don't see extreme damage done soon, I just see Razz taking a bigger and bigger lead as the time goes on. But we do see a fourth base in the top left, so we're not going all in.
Dude, Whip is going super eco with no upgrades. He's got to have armories by now, I have to imagine. There's one finally coming up. That is the latest armory at 1125.
It's not an early armory, I'll say that much.
I mean, Razz, on the other hand, he looks like he's probably got Arbiter tech on the way here.
His Stargate finished, but there was no Templar archives or anything else, so a little bit mistimed. And that's something you can expect when the game is so kind of high pressure like this. We've had harass from both sides, some aggression from Terran, so it's not entirely surprising that our timings aren't exactly crisp, but I would still say the large tech advantage goes to Razz. +1 still not started at 12 minutes.
Yeah, but I am like Razz's supply isn't really keeping, or it's just like barely keeping up with the Terran. Now, obviously, Protoss can explode in supply, but and now we're dropping the
fleet beacon.
The fleet beacon, which gets scouted immediately, which isn't good for Razz there. And these tank drops, I mean, granted they're disrupting mining a lot, but they're not getting a lot of kills.
And
he's losing
away
tanks every time for it. So I'm not sure how worth it these tanks drops are, but Razz he's falling way behind in supply. It's like Whip just keeps taking bases and growing his economy, and Razz is still on 3 bases, and he's not mining from his 3rd base, it looks like. It's like he's mining only from his natural right now. You know, it's just
another drop.
Razz is just tearing him apart from every angle. So I mean, not Razz, Whip is tearing him apart from every angle, and I don't know, Razz is just falling way behind over the course of this game.
This may have been like the most godly first map for Whip ever. It seems to play exactly to his play style, being able to do drops in different locations, all these high ground shenanigans. He's going to lose his 3rd base just to a tank drop. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, and he still hasn't been able to reclaim his name from these vulture drops. He's actually, like, this game's like almost...
He's kind of falling apart. He's kind of falling apart.
Losing your 3rd base against a 4-base Terran with, you know, more factories than you have gateways almost. You know, I don't care about the upgrades. When he's going to hit 200, when you're at 120 supply, man, you're never going to win that play.
Yeah, an extremely interesting turn of events, honestly. I did not see this part coming.
Dude, that main is still not mining. Every time we look up at the main and it's not mining, I die a little bit inside the red.
We see this little death squadron up at the top. It looks like it's going to get cleaned up without too much hassle. And yeah, that's the one thing that... Oh my god.
Jesus.
How does that happen?
Everything has just gone wrong for Razz, and I think he knows it, and he's just going to go across the map.
Whip is just moving out with no cares given. Only 3 tanks. That was something I was going to mention, is we keep throwing our tanks, so our big death push only has 3 tanks with it, but there's just so many vultures. If we lay mines here, we might just kill all these goons before the tanks even arrive.
Yeah, it's looking rough. Can he escape? It looks like he will escape, just barely over the ramp, but losing so much in the process.
So
look at the supplies, man. Terran is absolutely just rolling through here.
Whip just rolled out from like 2004 with this strategy and absolutely demolished Razz. The Reaver micro is really solid though, getting as much value as he can and really whittling down the vulture count. So all that's left, the backbone of the Terran army, is our tank count, and we only have 4 because our 5th one, of course, is behind the natural expansion of Razz, where it's supposed to be. Its God-given right is to go snipe probes from the high ground. Oh my god, just an insane amount of probe kills. This is absurd.
Yeah, Whip's multitasking this game has actually been really sick. He's just home Razz apart, dude, the whole time.
12 kills on that tank, just taking a 5th base.
Dude. That's insane.
So Terran usually is supposed to be up 3 bases on Protoss, correct? That's how this matchup's supposed to work.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Tank's getting caught completely out of position though. Vulture's scrambling back in time, but look at this drop also, the Reaver drop.
And the goons are just melting, man.
I don't know. It looks like we're going to clean up this army from Whip, and I'm wondering what the follow-up is. I mean, Razz is just so broke is the issue, but we have 2 carriers and 2 more on the way.
Yeah, but he scouted the fleet beacon, so he should know that,
Yeah.
carriers are coming. And, I mean, he's still making vultures, though, so maybe he just didn't realize that he saw a fleet beacon.
But we are adding a second starport, so I think we're gonna. Oh yes, this is what I wanted to see. We're doing the rate switch, baby. There's just no way that Razz has the resources to keep up with his carrier count and his interceptor count, and also building a bunch of observers and a ground army. Because I mean, we don't even have a ground army to deal with these vultures right now. We just don't have enough money to deal with all the threats that Whip is throwing at us. So.
It feels like Whip could win with vultures alone at this point. He's so
honestly could. Honestly, probably could. But Reaver moving to the top left base, pretty much undefended completely, but nice pull.
This is exactly what Razz needs to do if he wants any chance of coming back in this game, though, is shutting down these bases. And
Whip has been able to play so abusively, taking these expansions, because Razz is always on the back foot. So Razz definitely needs to be doing some things like this to throw the wrench and the gears that is the Whip machine. 3 carriers out, not a game-ending number. When this 4th one pops out, that'll be better. But once this Goliath production or this Wraith production really gets out of control, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep all 4 carriers alive for very long. Nice
carry right there, yeah.
But look at this 40 supply lead. How does this happen?
Yeah, this seems kind of hopeless. Even if he was able to get up to like 6 or 8 carriers, like the Wraiths are going to hit him completely. There's no way he's going to scout the Wraith switch.
No.
So when they hit, they're just going to wipe out all the carriers instantly. And the goons he just doesn't have a strong enough ground army to beat what,
Look at this. These vultures can 1v1 these goons easily. And the interceptor DPS really isn't that high.
Yeah, there's just not enough carriers right now.
There's like 2 interceptors.
I don't know if he needs to fucking attack one of his own buildings to get all his interceptors out faster here.
Yeah. Only 6 Goliaths, so it looks like we can take these Goliaths out. I'm wondering where the Wraiths were. I'm wondering why we pushed when we did. If we get those tank count wipes, this game's just going to go on way longer than it should.
Yeah, he's got to have the race on the way here, I would imagine. I would have waited for 8 Wraiths just to end the game quickly. Not that it's a huge deal. I don't think this game is something that Razz can come back from, no matter what happens in this fight, to be honest.
We'll see. Whip just can't stop attacking, though. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah,
we were right with our pregame prediction.
Definitely super aggro.
Which is cool. I'm so glad to see it. I mean, pretty much ever since I started playing the metagame, it's just been for Terran to be boring on 3 base for 13 minutes and bore the Protoss to death. So I'm glad that Terrans are coming up with a couple new ideas of how to play the matchup. But I mean, we're kind of just losing tanks here for free. I mean, as ahead as we are playing this super sloppily if we want to close out the game.
Yeah, this is definitely not going, or not as easy as it should be for how far ahead we are.
Making it hard on himself, we could say.
Yeah. I am curious to see if Whip's style, because this map is so perfect for dropping all over the place and siege, like sieging behind the 3rd base and doing plays like that. I'm curious how his style will carry over to more standard maps than Benzine, or less abusive maps than Benzine.
Sure, yeah. And I mean, look at this Wraith count. It's kind of getting absurd, but like you were saying, Whip's playstyle kind of matches up interestingly against Razz. You can see that he's getting really pushed to the limit multitasking-wise. Even in these spots where he's been on 2 base mining for so long, he still has quite a high mineral count. Hasn't really been able to retake that 3rd. Good to carrier harass. Gonna try and snipe this command center down.
But what's coming right across the map right now are those Wraiths, and bye-bye carriers here in just a second.
You see the scans go off looking for the observers.
Absolutely no hope. I would expect Razz to even GG after this, because this is like his ace in the hole, just getting shut down immediately.
You truly love to see it. Vulture's killing a Nexus, Wraith's killing a carrier. GG. And game 1 goes to Whip in dominating fashion, you might say.
Yeah. I really never thought Whip was behind at any point. Well, I'm just kidding. There was a period there.
I think you're wrong, actually. I think Razz was way ahead, and he had his 3rd base secured. His 4th base was coming up, but it kind of just all fell apart at the same time. We had tank drops just on high grounds left and right, and Whip was just kind of on top of him.
I thought it was looking actually really dangerous for Whip for a second when he was doing that tank push, and the Reaver was coming.
Until 12 minutes.
Yeah, no armory. There was a couple of definite mistakes in there. But once he took that lead, he never really lost it. So
relentless aggression. All right, should be getting into game 2 momentarily. We're just getting everybody in the lobby.
Do you remember the next map, Father?
I think they're deciding on it right now. It wasn't a preset order, I believe.
Oh,
so.
It was loser's pick.
I believe so. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I expect to see a more standard map for game 2. Like I said, when I played Razz on the ladder, he just played super stock standard. His Citadel timing was beautiful, Arbiter timing was beautiful, and just played a super solid late game PvT style. So I think that if Whip kind of keeps the game on his turf and it keeps Razz uncomfortable, we could see a pretty dominating series from here on out. But Razz does have some time to figure out an answer to this playstyle.
You have to remember also, like, sometimes games just don't go right for you and everything goes off.
Yeah.
Then once you're warmed up, the second game, you just play a lot better and a lot smoother.
Yeah, and it looks a lot smoother sailing here from the map pool. Benzene definitely kind of an outlier as far as
Optimizer's the other one I'd be a little bit worried about just because
but I don't
some weird stuff on that, but it's not nearly as abusive as Benzene can be in that regard.
Yeah, but map 2 looks like it's going to be Eclipse. Pretty stock standard map that is on the ladder right now. I like it quite a bit as Terran player, but late game Terran versus Protoss can get a little bit dicey. Protoss can take the bottom right 2 expansions and also kind of the top 2 expansions and force you to make a decision on which way you're going to go with your push. But we'll see if the game even gets to that point, because we have some aggressive players coming out of here. But first, in the top right, we have the Protoss player sending out a probe very, very early.
This should be a gas steal then. So it looks like he is going to go for the gas steal here, I'm guessing.
And then in the bottom left, we have the blue Terran player Whip. So yeah, looking like it's going to be a gas steal coming out.
Too early for like a forward gate, unless he's going to go full proxy gate. And he just clicked beneath. You saw his camera go beneath there, so maybe it is going to be a double proxy gate. Razz, bringing out the dirty, man. He's fucking done with Whip's multitasking and his drops. He's just going to open up forward gate, and let's see what he can do with this.
None of that. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. The pressure was definitely on Razz in the first game, and he wants to turn that around, make it on Whip. See how he puts up with it. I'm excited to see how this plays out. And it's going to be the first gate on 7, like an absolute madman.
That is insanely fast.
Yeah, so this Zealot's going to get here. I mean, this gateway's already going to be like a third of the way done before the barracks get started. It's kind of crazy, actually. And it looks like he might be going for... Okay, barracks still on the high ground. I was worried he was going to go for Gaslix expand and put it on the low ground. That might be a complete disaster.
So this is... I mean, showing your probe this early definitely feels a little telling there. Because he didn't even take the gas right away. So should make Whip wonder if there's something out there. Yeah. But we'll have to see what Whip does, because it doesn't look like he's going to go scout for any proxy. And this could just be game, man. These Zealots are going to be there like maybe when the barracks is done, you know?
It's so early, yeah. We're going to have to get that depot down on the right side of the barracks. I'm worried that Razz is just going to throw down a pylon or something and block it. If there's no SimCity defending against the Zealot, then it might just be game over, and it looks like we might even lose this SCV producing the barracks. One more shot and it's done.
Oh!
This is a complete disaster. And that just delays the barracks even more. I mean, everything's going... Oh, and we have the second barracks. We know that something's up. So this is a great idea, actually. But still, there's no SimCity. He has to throw down this depot immediately. Good timing there. But the Zealot's here, and the Marine just started.
Not even out. He's pulling a lot of SCVs. This is 100% what he needs to do to hold here.
Yeah, might even get the probe.
Pop any second. Does get the probe. Very nice micro so far by Whip. Let's see what the Zealot wants to do. He's going after the Marine, but the SCVs are blocking really nice. Yeah, this is going really well for Whip so far.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how both players transition out of this. 2 racks with no gas for Terran. We're going to be sinking a lot of minerals into making that racks and all these SCVs and pulling these making these Marines and pulling the SCVs off the line. Another Marine goes down. 2 Marines.
Both of them. Marines go down. And now this could spiral out of control here, because we're a third Zealot in here.
If 3 Zealots get in here, the game might just end immediately.
Look at Razz microing these Zealots really well, not losing any of them yet.
Yeah, that one is on 1 HP.
Yeah.
Nice snipe.
Finally picks it off. And now we do have 2 barracks Marines, so he should be able to hold here, I believe, after he just gets a couple more Marines out. Dropping another supply depot there, so that his wall is just huge. But sloppily, he loses that Marine there.
And I'm a little bit worried about when this goon decides to come across the map. The cyber core isn't done yet, but the hard part isn't necessarily holding the zealots, but it's what are we going to do about this dragoon? Because we still haven't even mined the gas yet. We haven't even killed the assimilator. Like I don't know what we're going to be using to defending his goons. It's just going to be pure marine, and our tech is going to be so incredibly late.
I think
losing more marine.
The SCV is just a little bit too early. He needed to get some on his ramp, I think, to help block, and then he would have been better off there.
As surprising as it is, I think the person that went for the 7-gate gas steal is going to be in a better position to transition into the mid game than the Terran player, because I mean, the name of the game really is gas. We need some gas, or else we're just going to eventually die to this Protoss teching up. But 3 Marines out and 2 more popping out means that this 1 zealot is not long for this world.
Yeah, it should be easy to clean it up now.
We're just going for 3-gate.
Yeah, with no expansion then, so definitely wants to end the game here. I actually think with the double barracks, like, Whip has a decent chance of holding his ramp if that's Razz is just going to try to bust up, so I'm not actually sure how good this follow-up is. He did enough damage where I feel like just transitioning into a normal build with, like, potentially Reavers or something would have been better, instead of dropping down 3 gates before an expansion. And it's already all been scouted, so Whip knows how much he's going to need to build to defend against this.
It's true. I don't know if we're going to be able to bust up the high ground, but it looks like Whip is trying to gear to take an expansion on the low ground, which is... Oh, no, he's just going to bust the gate, which is a great idea. The Terran player...
Oh, it's so unlucky for Whip. Everything. That goon gets out just in time to not die there, you know?
Yeah. So we're going to be able to take out this gateway most likely, but the harass is going to be actually pretty frustrating. 2 goons against rangeless Marines. We obviously can't kill all these Marines, but if we micro it correctly, we can delay this as long as possible and take down the health of the Marines. Now that there's 3 goons here, this is actually a little bit dicey.
I don't know. Razz his goons are really weak here, so I'm a little bit worried for him. But he might be able to get them all.
It looks like he will. Yeah, not even losing a goon for his trouble, so solid micro from the Protoss player. 5 HP goon. Are we just Oh, no. Whoo! 2 HP on the goon.
Now this range is going to finish up, and there's not going to be a factory for a long time. So you're literally going to have to deal with goons shooting your
the factory just
bunker forever.
We have an academy down before a command center has even started. I mean, I think, and we have to make more Marines. I mean, we were just so far behind of where we want to be as the Terran player here, and Protoss can transition pretty comfortably into the mid game. You already see 4 SCVs pulled off the line to repair this bunker, and it's not like we have a lot of SCVs to begin with. It looks like we might be. Oh wait, maybe he's going for range with this academy. I wonder.
That's what I was thinking, but it's not blinking yet, so I doubt it.
And since our factory is almost finished, I wonder. Honestly, kind of a cute idea, but
yeah, I think he's just worried about potentially DTs, and he's going to get
scanners.
Comsat here in a second. We did see a Robo going up. I think Razz is definitely going to follow this up with a Reaver. Reaver would be like the easiest way to end this game, I feel like. You'll have so many goons. Reaver hitting the bunker, there's no way you'll have the SCV come to repair it. And I don't think there's any chance Siege would be done before the Reaver, so.
Yeah, could be a solid follow-up. But really, I mean, Razz can do whatever he wants in this position. Like I was saying at the beginning of the game, since he kind of disrupted the tempo of Whip, he's free to do whatever he wants. He's not forced into playing catch-up or playing catch the high-ground siege tank. So
catches the SCV, just playing this game really well. So
yeah, airtight defense from the Protoss. Really got to hand it to him.
Super hard for, I mean, the forward gateway is super hard for Terran to hold, so can't really judge Whip too much for being
taking the damage. But we do have range on the way. Exciting stuff. Once again, almost losing a goon to a bunker.
I think that's because range just finished.
Well, yeah, but there was the goon that was poking a little bit forward. But yeah, range is done, so goons are forced to back up.
That is definitely a cute idea. I think it saves them a lot of money in the long run, actually. So. Well,
it might, but it's also 150, and we gotta account for that. Like that could have been a factory. That gas is pretty important. We don't even, or our scanners are super late if we even have them yet. So.
That's true.
We are gas starved. Yeah, the scanners do come up. One of them does.
It'll definitely be very helpful against the Reva though. And the Siege gets 2 goons, so Razz.
Oh, questionable.
The cleanness of his play is starting to falter a little bit here as the game goes on.
Yeah, but look at this supply lead. I mean, obviously Protoss gets the supply lead as they go into the mid game, but 20 supply at this point is
this is definitely a huge supply lead. And is he gonna Bulldog here? Did that pick up 2 goons or just one?
It was a goon and a Reaver, if I recall correctly.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised he's sending home all his goons. I feel like he could definitely bust Terran here. Just drop the Reaver right on top of the siege tank. There's only 2 of them. But
goon goes out first to take the shot, and nice shot on the tank. It does full damage. Oh, but we take a siege tank shot for our troubles. And now that we have this many siege tanks out, we're kind of out of places to drop the Reaver.
But look at,
I guess we can go for the depots.
He's already doing so much damage just by denying mining here, you know? So it's like when you're behind and you have to pull every SCV from your main, it just hurts your economy so much.
Yeah. I think the big deficit in supply is mostly due to workers, which is really the most important part when you're in this spot.
Yeah, picks off a tank for free there. You could get the other tank if he wanted to. He would just have to do the exact same trick that he pulled off there, but just happy to just keep harassing away here. He doesn't need to do anything special.
Thinks he can get the depots. Oh, almost.
I think he still might be able to if he goes behind here.
I wonder. Oh, but these SCVs are very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Of course they get pulled again, and we're just missing so much mining time here.
This is pretty much a complete disaster for
game-ending damage. We see a Citadel and no Stargate or any follow-up. I wonder if he's going to try and finish this with like a speed bot all in.
I think that would, totally viable way to end this game, because there's no way with how much damage Whip has taken that he's ever going to be able to yeah, he got the Academy and a depot, so not bad damage there. And you know, everything he does, everything he does just puts Whip and Whip further behind.
And we just decide to take a 3rd base behind it. So, I mean, there's really no advantages for Whip here at all. He's on 1 factory production. He has a decent tank count, but it's not like we have 5 factories down. We can move out and produce 5 vultures at a time with upgrades. I mean, we have nothing. Although
loses the Reaver though.
A little bit of a sloppy error there, unforced error, just dropping the Reaver into siege tank territory. But I mean, 4 gate production versus 1 factory, really not a spot you're looking to be in as Terran.
Yeah, that Citadel's been done for a while. If he wanted to go for like a big speed lot timing, I'd expect a little bit more gateways than he has. So probably it's going to be macroing up into a more standard game. But, you know, he's got that huge advantage. So
yeah.
So totally, you know, understandable way to play the game and finish it out that way. Just take your early game advantage into the late game and, you know, max out when that way.
Yeah. If you feel like you're the stronger player, just keep making the game take as long as possible, because the longer the game goes, the more decisions there are to make, and the more, if you're a better player, each of those decisions is just going to be better than your opponent's, so there's no reason not to drag it out. And we see, I mean, we're making Marines, and we're just going to go all in on this two racks tank push. But I mean, we did lose our Academy. Like I said, no more medics. I said that as a joke, but turns out it actually might play a factor.
He rebuilt it.
He rebuilt it because he has to get Slim. Oh my god, this is actually completely unexpected. Honestly, I like it a lot though from Whip. He's, like I said, he's so far behind in every regard. He has to go for something here. He can't just let the game go late. So
yeah, I don't know if this is the play though. There's already Reavers out, and you're gonna go into M&M against Reavers. It seems a little ambitious, if you ask me.
Yes, but I like the ambition. Let's say that, okay? I like the ambition.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Because, I mean, what's the other option? We just roll over and let the game go into late game where our opponent is just way up on tech and workers and everything. We just got to go all in, baby. 4 racks, production. You have 6, 7 tanks. That's good enough.
I think your only other option there is to play the turtle Nyoken style and just drag the game out forever.
Get that out of here. Out of my chat.
He sees the Reaver though. Let's see what how he wants to handle this. This might catch
in. He's just going for it.
He's gonna get the Well, here comes everything.
He's going to get destroyed. Just what's going to happen.
Here comes the goons, already on top of all the Marines. The Marines melt instantly, so now you have like 7 tanks against 20 goons, and I think this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, Dragoon's getting on top of the tanks, but forced to back off for now, and actually losing the Templar for his troubles, so not the greatest engagement, but I mean, we wiped the whole army. We took out a couple tanks, so, and we know it's coming, more importantly, so we can just produce units nonstop, and as soon as we get Storm out, there's just no chance.
Yeah, and Storm's got to be almost done here. I don't know why you'd bring the Templar up to the front lines. If it wasn't, there's the Storm. Tanks are running right into the Zealots and the Goons, so yeah, they're just getting wiped out, and I am going to expect a GG here any second, because this whole push has just been shut down.
Oh, tanks even shooting a Marine for their troubles. We'll miss micro there. And yeah, I mean, our one advantage we had was our big tank count. We were going to try and flip that into a push, but no luck. GG. Even up the series 1-1.
Yeah. First time we've had a 1-1 series in a long time here, man. With Boa just wrecking everyone.
Yeah. Finally got him in the Rogues Gallery jail. We got some new players on the scene now, and we're getting quite a good game. Going into game 3 here. I'm excited to see how this continues to play out. I mean, we've had unorthodox games, game 1 and 2, and Whip both times choosing to go for unorthodox strategies.
I'm curious to see what map he's going to pick, man. I wonder if it will be Optimizer.
Yeah, I wonder if he has something prepared for that map. Although heavy gas doesn't necessarily seem to be his style. He kind of doesn't like the armory that much. Seems to shy away from that. So
yeah, I guess if you go on Medic Marine, you don't really need that much gas.
Not super gas intensive, but
look
at this. We're on Optimizer. I'm very excited to see how this goes.
So maybe he has something special planned. It's weird because Optimizer is not a ladder map, so it's not a map that people necessarily practice that frequently. Yeah. So Razz may not have very many games on it at all, which could already catch him off guard, you know?
Definitely. But we have Whip in the top right, spawning as the blue Terran on Optimizer. Trying to extend his lead.
Yep.
And down in the bottom right, we have the red Protoss player. We got Razz. So yeah, vertical spawns actually. So this means that both of their natural expansions, once they mine out some of those minerals, are going to be open to harassment.
Yeah, I think vertical spawns definitely favors Terran a little bit more because they have, if you can get those siege tanks, I think it can be pretty abusive right underneath or right above your natural layer. So we'll have to see if that's something that Whip wants to try this game. I am curious to see because, like I said, this is not a map that many people play very often. Obviously, they know they have this show match, so maybe they have some practice partners that they specifically practice this map with. But
yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I think these were the spawns that Whip was hoping for. Vertical spawns like this, because we've seen how aggressively he's been playing with his harassment. He loves going for tank drops, big vulture run-bys, the combination of the two. Things that a lot of Terran players shy away from, but he's all for. So these spawns really are just a godsend for him. But we got a forward gate, looking to keep up the aggression. Seems that the games go better when the ball is more in the court of Whip, forced to play Razz's style. And we're going to get a first scout off, too, it looks like.
No, he's going cross. So.
Going cross? Okay.
Yeah. Gonna miss a first scout. No, he changed it.
Just checking for the old BBS. You know how it be. You know how it be playing PvT.
Razz getting very lucky both times he did his forward. I guess Eclipse, you don't really get lucky because it's a 2-player map. So.
Well, you're lucky because it is a 2-player map. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he does get lucky with the first scout, and since the barracks is getting made at the natural, it's going to be pretty annoying. Got to pull off this first worker, and if that SCV that's building it gets damaged enough, we're going to have to pull off a second one. But really good SCV control so far, it looks like.
Getting a little repair in there, doing the dance a little bit.
Yeah, even just repairing 1 HP makes a difference. I mean, just that 1 HP makes it so the probe has to do another shot to knock out that SCV. So
look at that. This is some sick SCV blocking, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Manages to get the
looks like the SCV is going to get out with half its health, maybe 20, just over 20. So
instant bunker.
Safe for now.
Whip knows something's up, dude. He saw an early probe scout again. Definitely thinks something's up after seeing that. So
not only the probe scout, but the fact that he was so aggressively trying to harass those SCVs.
Yeah,
that's always a sign as a Terran player that there's going to be a zealot coming.
He sees the Zealot right there. He does already have the Marine in the bunker, but he doesn't have anything to block, so the Zealot can definitely... And he's going to lose his SCV in the main, maybe?
Oh, it's so close. Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
okay.
he loses the Marine.
Marine that pops out gets taken out. Good lord.
Manages to save his SCV, though, but here comes the Zealot just walking right through, and the Marines... Now it gets tough, because we have to like make sure you have enough Marines in the bunker while also chasing down the Zealot.
And if we take out that SCV, look at how long Blue's been supply blocks for. That depot just will not finish. So no Marines getting produced, no SCVs. Like, things are kind of going bad already. And this, look at this moving shot. It was really good for a second there, and the Marines just forced away from the bunker. And once again,
Probe's gonna kill the Marine at this point.
There's no Sim City in the main, so we're just forced to pull probes.
And there's still only one Marine because he was supply blocked for so long. This is like a complete disaster.
This is a complete disaster.
So the Zealot gets trapped by SCVs. That was pretty nice, but he does kill one of the Marines. And now he's going to take out the factory SCV again, so the factory gets delayed again.
Yeah, really the name of the game here is seeing how long we can delay the factory
So many
for.
SCVs are going down, man.
This is pretty insane.
3 SCVs already. This is doing more damage than the last one did, and the last one was like a forward proxy hit.
Yeah. But by the grace of God, the factory finishes and a Vulture immediately gets started. But I mean, really, that's just putting a countdown timer on this Zealot push, which has already done enough damage as it is. Goon coming across the map, and once the Goon's in the main, I mean, we're gonna have to pull way more SCVs than we already have.
If the Goon can get in the main before the Vultures or before the Zealots get cleaned up, it might even be game.
It might be, but Vulture coming out now. Zealots getting picked off one by one, but more SCVs going down. I mean, this is just looking disastrous.
And here comes the Goon. The Goon can easily be... Oh, no! He actually decides not to run the Goon past the bunker. I guess there's still some Marines in that bunker.
Yeah,
saves the day for him, yeah.
Good play by Whip. But Natural is already coming up for Protoss, and we know that Vulture is out, so we're just going to pull our Goons back for now, play defensively, go into the mid-game super comfortably with a solid worker advantage. Nice 3-scout, though.
Yeah,
being really diligent, hiding those SCVs and making sure we see what's going on. Oh, and Vulture gets in.
But
on what planet did this Vulture get in, man? We knew about this from the start. We pull back our Goons, and this is what happens.
Will it actually get anything done, though? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I mean,
one probe and a scout, but we already got the scout from the SCV. I would say that was markedly not worth it, but at the same time, I can't say it's a bad attempt. I mean, the fact that we got the Vulture and there's a minor miracle as it is. So
costs a little pull, so I don't know. It was probably about even for 75 minerals, but when you're already behind, you want to be, maximizing your unit's value, and losing it before even laying mines with it, could be a little bit problematic. And where are these Marines going?
Maybe checking for proxy robo?
I thought he might. No, I think he thought it was probably a proxy gate again because of that. Well,
yeah, maybe. But I mean, if we just move these Goons into the net and there's nothing here, like what?
Where are these Marines going, man? There's nothing on the bunker now.
There's nothing in the bunker, dude. Where are the Marines?
Why are they all the way across the map, man? I don't get it. What are these Marines doing, dude? Oh no, this is like.
This is just.
We're already in a bad spot this game, but I just don't understand the decision making of sending out 4 Marines. And there's the
GG, just like that. The Marines. Oh my goodness.
I wonder what I'm really curious to what Whip was thinking there.
I mean, I don't even hate the idea of pushing out with the Marines there. We saw that the Goons were forced back from the Vultures, so going out to check for any proxies like right outside our net is fine, I guess. But we were going like it looks like we were playing TVZ. We were checking for the base bottom left or something. I don't get that one.
I can totally understand pushing a little bit out to make sure there's no proxy robo. Like you have the time to, so why not just double check to make sure you don't straight up lose, right?
Yeah.
But when you're going like halfway across the map, I don't care if you find the proxy robo out there.
What are you gonna do? So interesting game 3. Razz takes a 2-1 lead now, and now he has 2 shots to close this out. He really can do whatever he wants. Whip has to do something to get the initiative back, or else Razz is just going to keep dominating these games and dictating the pace.
Well, now I'm really worried that Whip's going to be super tilted after these last 2 games. So we're going to have to see if he can keep his composure, because I know if I lost those ways, man, I would be out of my mindset.
It's hard to come back from that. But at the same time, that both of your losses were to forward/proxy gates. And so you can kind of just default to the excuse of he got lucky with the forward gates. If we just bring it back to my tempo, if I go into the mid game in a solid position, not far behind, it could just look like a repeat of game one. So there's still a lot of potential for a comeback here. We haven't really seen the full breadth of either of these players play, I think, but definitely the advantage goes to the Protoss.
Yeah. And going into the game 4 here, we are going to be playing on Sylphid, so
yeah, Neo Sylphid, probably my favorite map, I've got to say.
Neo Sylphid, definitely a great map. This matchup, strong for both races, but Terran does love it because he can get up those 4 bases really nice and then take an easy 5th as well. But it is another great map for a forward gate, so I mean, 3 spawns, yeah, so you can scout really easily, and there's an easy spot to put your gateway right in the center if you want to.
Yeah. But yeah, we have Whip in the bottom left, and we have Razz in the bottom right. So, decent spawns. Once again, Terran's spawn is bad. If Protoss wants to go for gas steal, it'd be easier, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. We saw game 2, and it worked out really well, so if that's the case, it's going to be a little bit unlucky for Whip. Up in the, what is that, the 900s of APM? Pretty solid.
That's insane. I don't even know how you spam that fast, man.
He might just be holding down a hotkey, honestly.
That's true, that's true.
Sometimes you gotta strike fear into your opponent's hearts, and anything to get that done, I understand.
And
looks like he wants to wall in. So I wonder if he's going for 2 factory or maybe 1 factory, 1 port, something like that, or if he's just really so paranoid about dying to a forward gate that he's going to wall in.
I would assume it's got to be he does not want to have to deal with forward gate again. And guess what? This is the game that Razz doesn't go for it. So
yep, gateway solidly in his main base where God intended it.
But it's not really it's not really putting you behind if you go for a wall or anything. So it's not like.
Well, it's not necessarily putting you behind money-wise, but you are making a wall, which is a little bit humiliating. I mean, honestly, I'm not even joking. The fact that you have to play defensively like this, I mean, it does admit a little bit that if you're just doing it to play normally and to try not to die to forward gate, like you're kind of admitting that you're worried about your opponent's strategies. So I wonder if that has taken an impact on the mentality of Whip.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't want to deal with forward gate anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
He's been punished twice by it.
Yeah. But both players going to scout last, so nothing crazy.
Yep, totally standard this game by both of them. Whip taking his gas on time, Razz doing core. No Zealot again, so he should be able to get his goon right away.
And if Whip wants to, he can put this depot down now and block out the scout from Razz. And that puts Razz in an uncomfortable spot. He knows what kind of player he's playing against. He knows that he's willing to go for anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if Razz is forced to play super defensively here after getting blocked scouting-wise. You have to be wondering if the 2 factory is coming or if the fact port is coming. You have to be nervous.
Yeah. But we'll have to see. Did Whip pull off gas there?
No, he's still mining gas, so it looks like it's just going to be a 2 factory.
And there is actually a forward Zealot. I'm surprised. I didn't even see the supply jump there. So
yeah,
maybe Razz cutting a couple of probes again to do that.
So pretty unfortunate from Razz. Everything kind of going against him in this game. Although we did pop out the Marine, and this is just going to get demolished by the Zealot. I don't know. We were a little bit ambitious with that.
Pay attention to it. Otherwise, you could definitely lose it. I think it'll get away here, maybe.
Well, he would have to open up his barracks wall, and he's not willing to do that. So I think it's just going to die. Or does it get out? Oh,
no,
yeah.
I can slip through. Yeah, I thought it could slip through. So he doesn't quite lose it. And we have a lot of gas and money out of Whip, and only 1 factory still, so.
There's the start port.
Okay, yep. So he's going to be going for a drop by.
Little fact port action, but a goon is about to be at our wall, and we only have 2 Marines, so things are going to get a little bit annoying. We may have to pull an SCV to repair a depot at some point. We really don't want to have to make a tank here. We obviously want to be going for vultures to drop them, but with this goon out, we have to back off for now.
I feel like he's going to have to make a tank. I don't know how he ever gets this goon to stop.
Well, that's one way, is getting the Brood War engine to do it for him.
Goon taking a little bit more damage than he should have there.
Yeah, but at some point SUVs are going to have to come off the line to repair this. We're about to lose both our Marines.
Well, you might be able to pick off the goon. That goon's take a lot of damage.
Oh, Marine takes a couple swipes. Here comes an SUV. But yeah, we can range this Marine and oh, nice micro. Okay, so yeah, really annoying to have to deal with this, and I'd be really surprised if there's a tank on the way. 2-gate response from Razz. This might just end up being a complete disaster. 2-gate against factory port is really just not a good matchup, and we were forced to make that tank first, so it's not even like we're gonna have a drop anytime soon.
Yeah,
I mean, we have no vultures.
And Razz just playing, super aggressive this series. He played the first game pretty standard, and after that he said, I'm only going to go for aggro strats.
It's really telling that when he scouts that there's a wall in, his response is to go 2-gate. He knows that something's up. He knows that Whip isn't just going to go for a command center on the proverbial high ground. Although we're going for 2 tanks and... I'm so confused. But 2 tanks do one-shot that goon that's super weakened, and I'm wondering what we're going to do with this starport. Are we going to go for like a double tank drop or something? Or
that seems so really.
Or maybe making a Wraith and just go aggro with it. Like,
there's a vulture right now. Maybe a tank and 2 vultures. That's the only other thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's not uncommon with like a Rax expand, because you go for that first tank to defend against the Dragoons, and then you, like, if you time it, then you have 2 vultures. But doing it off of no expand against 2-gate, we're gonna lose all our. Yeah, I think we're about to lose the game right here. We're gonna lose all these tanks. We have 1 vulture with a second one on the way.
They both go down. Easy pickings for.
Well, it looks like we're gonna do a 2 vulture drop. So
and it's gonna fly right over the goon on the minimap too.
Oh no! Oh no! Could this get any worse for Whip?
Did Razz notice it though? That's the question. Did Razz notice it?
Does it matter? Is the question, just because we have a Templar archives on the way.
And I think those DTs are going to be game enders. We still don't have any way to hold our wall here, just killing off SCVs at a time. We do. It
looks like we're a little undefended. Only 1 goon, and if there's mines in here, then we're going to get this goon killed probably. Pulling off. Ooh. Okay. Goon survives for now. And we're pulling probes, which I like, to just try and box out the vultures and wait for more goons to come. Nice pick off on that mine there. And it looks like we're going to catch one of these vultures, if not both of them.
And you know what the worst part is? I don't even think he got in range of the archives to see it. So
you may be right. He must have seen the Citadel, but not the archives.
Yeah, he did see the Citadel at least.
What is this? We're going to turn it up on 1 base? Is this our plan? Oh, 3 factory, baby. We're going all in. I don't know how we're gonna spot once we get across the map with those DTs. We must be getting scanners or something, but I mean,
this might actually work.
How's he gonna deal with the DTs?
That's true. I don't know how he's gonna deal with the DTs.
He needs a plan for the DTs, and at this point, like
I feel like this is his only option.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Actually, we have to make something work, but I've been saying that almost every game for Whip. If you've just been taking it a little more standard, we wouldn't be put in these spots in the first place. But we also wouldn't have gotten an amazing game 1, so I'm really in no point to tell Whip how to play this game. But yeah, Razz is just taking it to a second base. He's teched up really quickly, so if Whip did decide to go for a mid-late game play, he'd just be able to go straight to Arbiters. But as it stands, going all in with 3 factories, we're just going to be able to defend this maybe with Zealot legs.
And
maybe
there goes our dropship too. It's definitely going to go down to the goons.
But
it's the vultures in the natural, which is kind of nice, but...
Yeah, and just like we saw in game 1, we know Razz's multitask isn't the best. Whip is able to play really abusively, but we're going to have to do a lot more damage than this to make up for the fact that we're on 3 factories off 1 base.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's going to be able to transition out of this like he did last game, or first game, where he was able to take a bunch of bases and harass at the same time. This time we're confined to 1 base. And
yeah. And losing our vultures on the map. Every unit is so precious right now. We just don't have the production to really make up for that. But I mean, we have lots of speed vultures, and turns out vultures are pretty good units. So
yeah, now we come down to the question of how he deals with these DTs.
I think the answer is we don't, and we keep making vultures. Maybe we could ferry these tanks across the map in the dropship and kind of circumvent the DTs on the way there. But
yeah.
we're gonna turret leap to our natural. Seems like the more likely possibility, and if that's our game plan, things are looking real bad for Whip.
Yeah, we should have been taking an expansion if we wanted to be playing this in a macro style. Our command center should probably already be finished, you know?
Yeah,
It's hard to
9 minutes.
transition out of 3 factory, you know.
3 factory academy and eBay and Starport all off one base. We have all the machine shop upgrades except for Karen boosters.
But, you know, Razz is still basically on 1 base himself because he's barely mining out of his natural.
Yeah, his probe production hasn't been super consistent, and he has had some AFK probes.
Yeah, quite a few in the main there, and his supply actually isn't that far ahead of Whip's, and Whip is doing the crazy play here where he actually carries over his units like you suggested. And,
yeah,
you know, the DTs are never making it home in time, so maybe this can actually work here.
If he gets caught off guard, but I think this observer is going to spot... oh my god. I'm getting nervous now. I'm getting nervous.
There's actually not a lot of goons. That's
4
only
siege tanks start his natural already. This is kind of crazy, dude. Is Whip going to pull off another miracle comeback, make the commentators look like they have no idea what they're talking about again?
DT on its way home, but it's never going to make it.
It's running through minefields, baby.
Yeah. So the DT down, so now all he has to worry about are these. That is a lot of goons, though.
It's a lot of goons, but we're not in the best spot. It looks like we're getting a little choked up in our natural here. Going to lose a goon. At least
2
one.
DTs pop now, so...
Oh.
It's not like he ever lost his archives tech, so just make 2 DTs. He did have a scanner, so I'm surprised he didn't scan the DTs. He had 1 scan at least, but even still, I don't think he was ever winning that fight. And
no, we gotta use the scan to take our nat. Oh no!
It's a lose-lose situation, right?
Yeah, but at least it's done. We're up to 5 factories now, so we have one more time we can make work. We have a lot of SCVs. We have enough SCVs, I think, to produce off 5 factories. We're going to be mining off 2 base on a low SCV count, so it's going to be super efficient mining, and we can just pump non-stop off this 5 factory. And I don't think Razz really has any idea what's going on. I don't think he's got an observer in the main base of Whip yet, so we're playing a little bit in the dark. As big of an advantage as he does have, there is one more timing for Whip, and it might be game ending. But throwing away those tanks and vultures like that was not the first step of that process. But here comes the big vulture run by.
Yeah,
4 vultures into the main.
Super important for him to have any chance. He needs to slow Razz down as much as possible, and causing Razz to mass pull his probes, where he takes every probe that's mining off his main, and now his economy gets crippled for like 30 seconds. Like, that's going to be the way he manages to make this 5-fact timing work.
Yeah, definitely. But it looks like Razz is trying to, well, at least clear mines at the front. We have, those mines under that siege tank there. We're just going to go for a bust. See how the mine drags are. Not spectacular, but 2 DTs get on top of the siege tank, and the DPS is just insane. Running goons through the mines, we're just going to clear up everything from that, and I think that's it.
All the tanks die in the natural, and
5-fact production doesn't do a whole lot when there's already goons in your nat like this, and even the scanners getting taken out means that eventually these DTs are going to just be completely undetectable. Trying to pull all the SCVs to make this work, and we have a siege tank, so we can hold for now potentially, but it looks like we're actually just going to range it.
Yeah, sieged a little bit too close to the goons there. I mean, he is going to clean up all the goons, maybe. But
it looks close, but look at the supplies now. It's just further and further apart. Our probe count is, it was healthy, but a little bit distributed poorly. But it's just, it's lights out for Whip.
There's no way he can come back from this. He's just taking too much damage from these goons at this point.
So
Razz is playing super aggressive, and
yeah, that seemed to be the key to defeating Whip. If you let him play his own game, he's extremely dangerous, as we saw. But once he's on the back foot, things start to fall out of control for him. But I mean, still, even with that, he was still getting lots of harassment damage done, getting a lot of damage that probably shouldn't have happened in the first place with the vulture run bys. So definitely smart play from Whip. But Razz just a little bit too solid. His builds were strong, his responses were strong. Yeah. He was able to kind of sniff out what Whip was up to, even though he had walled off like that. So definitely big props to Razz for how he played this game, and just continuing to mow through these SCVs with the Dragoons. We're going to try and hole up on 1 base, and we can probably hold just because Terran is broken like that, but he's not long for this world, I don't think, taking a 3rd base behind it.
I think his command center's even going to go down, and I think Whip probably is realizing it right now. It's just a matter of time before we see the GG, I think.
Ooh, nice.
But he is going to try and clean it up one more time, see if he can retake his natural, but 30 supplies down.
Yeah, not the spot you want to be in as Terran. And Razz really could just pull back here and do whatever he wants, but going to continue the pressure, keep equalizing that, or zeroizing that tank count, I should say. not equalizing. Oh, but nice interruption with those vultures laying mines, taking out a couple of the goons.
Big mine drags there.
He's trading as well as he can, but
yeah,
too little, too late, I think. And this goon march is nonstop. The goons are always coming for you. The goons are marching into town.
Goons,
yeah.
Arbiter tech, or maybe he's gonna go carriers again on the way. You know?
Why not? Why not? Vultures kind of just suiciding, and now we can just stroll right into the main base if we want to, but decide not to.
Yeah. Whip gonna see if he can get some last, minute harass done here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Laying mines on the reinforcement path is always smart.
Can't hate a guy for trying his heart out in the show.
Certainly not. With 50 big ones on the line, anything could happen.
Yeah, fat cash right there.
Fat NA cash.
Does manage to sneak some vultures over to the third base, but can't even get in there.
We'll take a probe for our... Oh, no, we won't.
No,
Later, probe.
Probe scoots away.
Proberto escapes.
And I think this is going to be whipped. Almost mined out of our main here. We don't even have a lot of SCVs left.
Yeah, I just realized this game's been going on for 15 minutes now. It kind of surprised me because Terran's been on one base this whole time, but 15 minutes, yeah, we're about to mine out, losing our tanks once again. Oh, see SCVs, and feels like that, GG.
Yeah, Razz taking it 3-1, man.
Congratulations to our Protoss player, Razz. Really turning things around after that almost dominant game one, I'd say.
Yeah, just played super aggressive, super heavy zealot pressure in the opening, and Whip really couldn't handle it very well.
Yeah, it seemed like once Razz was able to dictate the tempo, things started going his way. So, yeah strong play. But congratulations to Whip also. He played, I think he really proved us both wrong game one. We thought he was out of it, but he just kept attacking nonstop, kept harassing and dropping, and really just tore Razz apart.
His multitasking was impressive throughout the series. Yeah,
agreed. So congratulations to both of our players, but a special congratulations to Razz, of course, for taking it 3-1. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, Just, for commentating with me. Thanks, Tim, for the obsing.
Do we have a winner's interview here? Are we gonna have one? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna try and get our winner in here. But yeah, really fantastic games. Nothing exciting, nothing boring at all, which is a little bit rare for TVP. You'd expect maybe just one of these games to go for something a little more standard, but both players are fusing, which I appreciate. Yeah, and we also, as we mentioned, we have that $50 prize bonus, but we also have a match agreement going right now. Should be posting that in the chat so we can get those coupon codes in if you're willing to donate. We have some cool prizes. We have, I think we're giving away or selling the replays from these tournaments to add to the prize pool as well. So yeah, go check that out. If you're trying to support NA Brood War, this is one of the great ways to do it. We're trying to get more show matches and maybe even some team leagues or some star leagues getting started soon. So yeah, keep posted for that.
Yeah, big thanks to Rogues Gallery for organizing all these events. They're definitely doing a great job.
Yeah. Also, I believe we have a Twitter now. Go check us out, Twitter for Rogues Gallery, for more updates. And we also post everything on Team Liquid. But it looks like we have our winner in here, Razz89. Congratulations on your win today.
Oh, thanks, Father.
How do you feel about that game one? That was really interesting. Seemed like at the beginning, going into the mid game, you were in a pretty solid spot, but really able to turn the map against you with those tank drops. What were your thoughts going through that game?
Yeah, so I thought that I could double expand after I got the reaver drop because I thought I killed so many SCVs. But I didn't follow up enough with some zealots and another shuttle to break the third. Like, I didn't think he was going to take a third. I thought he would just stay on 2 base and I could easily expand. And I don't play that map very often, to be honest. So, like, all of the drops and just trying to get all over the place were just too much. Like, he was just everywhere at once with 1-2 drop shifts, it seemed like.
It was crazy. It seemed like he was everywhere at once on that map. But so yeah, after that game, it seemed like you really wanted to take the pace of the games back into your hands. Was that your thoughts going into it, game 2 and game 3, with the proxy and forward gates respectively?
Yeah, so when I thought about the map, what I was going to pick when I went behind, I figured I'd take Eclipse and do a 7-7, and I was hoping he'd think I was going to gas steal, but I'm sure he's seen the build before, so then I figured, all right, we'll just proxy on that one and hit as many SCVs, and then I saw that his Marine control was a little bit shaky in that game when the Zealots were in his base, so I said, you know what, for Optimizer, let's get a forward gate because I feel like that map is favored Terran versus Protoss because of the extra gas that you get so early.
Yeah. And game 3, when you scouted that he walled off, game 4, when he scouted that he walled off his main base, what were your thoughts? Did you immediately think it was going to be a all-in play, or were you worried about getting maybe mind gamed and there was just a command center there?
So I only saw the 1 Marine, so that made me think 2-fac right away. Like, he's not going to expand just with 1 Marine. Usually Terran play with 2 or 3. Sometimes they take siege expands, so I thought it was a 2-fac. And then I didn't see much come out right away. So I was like, oh, that's why I put the 2 goons back in my base. I was like, it also could be a volt drop.
Yeah.
So I knew it was some kind of weird play because his command center seemed to be super late. Nothing was coming out.
Yeah.
I thought the DT follow-up would be fine if it was a 2-fac, at least to hold, and it ended up working out because he tried to push through the bottom of the map.
Right. Yeah, that was actually, I was quite surprised that he was managed to ferry all that down there. It looked a little bit dangerous for a sec, but we got the DTs in there and cleaned it up, no problem. So, yeah.
Were you surprised at all when the Marines came out in game 2 after waiting around for so long?
In game 2?
Yeah, and when he did the Marine medic push.
Yeah, I was actually quite shocked because when I dropped the Reaver in there, I was like, oh, there's only 1 fac. He's playing it slow. Then all of a sudden, he stimmed out, and I was like, what is this? Like, where did that come from? Like, all of a sudden, we're going with Eminem because I saw him come for the shuttle, and I heard the stim, and I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, he managed to clean it up super easily with the Reaver, though.
The Reaver got lucky. I was lucky that I teched a storm. I said on my head so much, let me just go through base and tech a storm because I don't love arbiters on that map so much. I think they're just so hard to use. I said, let me just take full advantage of the ramps. I'm so ahead right now with 3 bases. I have the extra gas. We'll just storm when he comes up, pushes out, deny the 3rd, and we can take it from there. Maybe transition to carrier. That was kind of my thought once I saw the I did not expect the bio at all.
Are you more of a carrier Protoss or more of an arbiter toss? Because we saw you go carrier the first game, and it looked like you were probably going to follow up with carriers and Neo Sylphid if the game had gone any longer. But
yeah, so I tend to try to carry when I feel like I'm pretty ahead. Normally, I probably play more games with the arbiter, but I really thought I was way ahead, even on game 1. Like with the Reaver, I thought it put me far ahead, and then all of a sudden I just lost all my probes, which is never a good idea.
Why do you like the carrier when you're ahead?
Because I think that's just so hard for Terran to transition off 2 gases. They're usually the tank volt play, so to force them to have to make Goliaths just to spend that extra 50 gas rounds, I think helps. Especially when they have to deal with it on maps like map 1, where they're easy to kind of hit the base and force them to move around, things like that.
Definitely.
So nice.
Yeah. Do you have any shout outs you want to give out? Maybe teammates or practice partners or anything like that?
Oh man, shout out to all the guys on Team USA and GTB, Game and Brownie, Striker, a lot of guys, a lot of practice games. I'll tell you, it's hard to find Terran practice partners though. I swear to God, all my damn partners are Protoss Zerg. I was like trying to prep for this match. I was like, Father, you're going to be the next guy on the list to start getting some practice games with me because I'm like, I have no damn Terran practice partners.
Hot commodity is the Terran in the NA scene for sure.
Oh, seriously, it really is hard to find.
Yeah, no doubt. But congratulations to Whip. Also, you really played well that game 1. So yeah, good job, guys. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And make sure to follow us on our social medias and contribute to the match arenas. Do you have anything else to say, Just?
Nope, just congratulations again, Razz. One other thing, do you stream at all? Do you have a stream?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm Razz Gather and the boys, BW. So our team name.
Okay. Awesome, man. Congratulations again.
Check it out. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Later, man. Have a good one.
Peace out.
All right, and just like that, I think we have wrapped things up. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the games. Like I said, follow us on the social media accounts. Follow us, or maybe chip in on that match arena if you have a little spare cash. Yeah, I think that's about all we have in store for you today.
Yep. Peace out, guys.
Peace out.